Hello, our dear viewers, and welcome to this special edition of our program, Africa Today. Our program today is dedicated to the visit by the Italian Foreign Minister and Deputy Prime Minister Antonio Tajani to Egypt. Earlier today, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi discussed with the visiting Italian Foreign Minister and Deputy Prime Minister Antonio Tajani the developing bilateral cooperation, notably in trade and investment, joint industrial ventures, and energy security. Presidential spokesman Ambassador Bassem Radi said that President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi welcomed the Italian guests, hailing the distinguished close historical relations with Italy, both on the official and public levels. Radi said that Cairo is looking forward to developing ties with Rome in the upcoming period and to activate the mutual coordination in a bid to confront different challenges in the Mediterranean. For his part, the Italian Foreign Minister stressed that Italy highly values established relations with Egypt, asserting the Italian government wished to strengthen and push these relations in light of Egypt's pivotal role as a mainstay for peace and security in the Middle East and the Mediterranean regions. The presidential spokesman added that discussions between President Sisi and the Italian Foreign Minister dealt with regional files of interest, especially illegal migration, fighting terrorism, and extremist thoughts. The talks also touched on the issue of the Italian university student Hareedy and cooperation to uncover the reality and establish justice for him. Meanwhile, Foreign Minister Sameh Shoukry said his talks with the Italian Foreign Minister Antonio Tajani covered means of boosting bilateral relations in different fields. Addressing a press conference with the visiting Italian counterpart, Shoukry said the talks also reviewed regional affairs of mutual concern, notably the situation in Libya and the efforts to confront terrorism and illegal migration. This is in a bid to achieve peace and stability. Shoukry said the visit by the top Italian diplomat bears witness to strong ties between the two sides. He said the talks also discussed the need to utilize resources in the East Mediterranean. He said Egypt is always in support of the Palestinian people and the two-state solution. For his part, Tajani said Egypt and Italy must work together to face the current challenges, including the illegal immigration, adding that Egypt is playing an important role in quelling illegal immigration. He also said that Cairo efforts to solve the crisis in Libya are vital. The Italian Foreign Minister said the talks discussed the global food security within the repercussion of the Ukrainian war. He said the Palestinian issue and the two-state solution topped the agenda of the talks. Tajani said Rome wants to strengthen ties with all the Mediterranean countries to achieve common interests. To shed more light on the issue, we are very much delighted to be joined over the phone by Ambassador Hussein Hareedy, former Assistant Foreign Minister. Ambassador Hareedy, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, madam.
Ambassador Hareedy, how do you weigh the timing of the visit by the Italian Foreign Minister to Egypt?
Well, this is the first visit for a senior official from the new Italian government.
Yes.
And it comes in the context of the good relations that have always existed between Italy and Egypt. And I guess the meeting of the Deputy Prime Minister and the Foreign Minister of Italy,
yes,
with His Excellency the President al-Sisi this morning, covered a lot of grounds. Whether we are speaking about bilateral relations or any or other questions of mutual interest between the two countries. On the other hand, the Italian Deputy Prime Minister underlined the importance that his country attaches to maintaining good relations with Egypt and cooperating with Egypt in trying to find solutions for various problems that are facing the countries around the Mediterranean and in North Africa.
Yes. Also, strategic files top the agenda of the Italian foreign minister's visit. What files here, Joe, do you need for strategic cooperation between both Egypt and Italy?
Well, the Italian Deputy Prime Minister said that he discussed the situation in Libya, and
Yes.
in this respect, he said that Egypt plays a very important role in solving the Libyan crisis. And on the other hand, he praised the contribution that Egypt has made in fighting illegal immigration across the Mediterranean. And of course, he stressed that his country is working for peace in the Eastern Mediterranean. And of course, he was referring to some conflicts and some differences among various countries on the eastern flank of the Mediterranean concerning the exploitation of oil and gas in that part of the Mediterranean Sea.
Yes. Also, the talks discussed the illegal immigration file. How do you see the development in this regard, Mr. Ambassador?
Well, with the new Italian government,
Yes.
of course, this question has gained in importance, and Italy has adopted a very tough position against illegal immigration.
Indeed.
And of course, as far as Egypt is concerned, we, ever since September 2016, we have done our best to prevent illegal immigration from our shores towards the southern banks of the Euro-Mediterranean countries, and among them, of course, Italy. So, of course, the question of illegal immigration is really a very serious problem. And, of course, there must be international regional cooperation in order to stem it.
Yes. Also, the Italian foreign minister praised Cairo's effort to quell the illegal immigration. How has the efforts by Cairo contributed to the decrease of the number of illegal immigrants from your point of view, Ambassador Hareedy?
Well, according to official statistics by Egyptian authorities, since September 2016 till today,
yes,
the figure is zero illegal immigration from Egyptian coasts. And of course, this is a very good record. And I guess the European officials do praise, when the occasion presents itself, the efforts by Egypt to prevent illegal immigration towards Europe.
Yes. Ambassador Hareedy, what common challenges face both Cairo and Rome?
Well, I guess only the challenges that we're facing around the Mediterranean are regional in scope, and accordingly, the response to these challenges should be also regional and region-wide across the Mediterranean, and based on cooperation and coordination between among North African countries and the European countries, particularly the Euro-European countries like Italy, France, Spain, Greece, Cyprus, Malta. So, what I have in mind is, of course, terrorism, extremism, the illegal immigration, food security, energy prices. Plus, of course, the situation in Libya and how these countries on the two shores of the Mediterranean could work together to help the Libyans find solutions to their own political problems.
Yes. Sir, also the issue of Palestine and the two-state solution were high on the agenda of the talks. How would Italy's support of the two-state solution has an impact on the Palestinian file from your point of view?
Of course, Italy, like all European countries, do support the two-state solution. And now, I guess, the main emphasis should be on the resumption of peace talks between the Palestinian National Authority and the Israeli government.
Yes.
Although I doubt very much if the present Israeli government is interested at all to talk about peace between the Israelis and the Palestinians.
Yeah. How would you describe here Rome's ties with Cairo, Ambassador Hareedy?
The role of Cairo in what?
The ties here. How do you see the Italian-Egyptian ties?
Well, I guess, as I said earlier, Madam, relations are good, and there is a joint political will on the part of the Egyptian and Italian governments to work together to enhance cooperation in all fields between the two countries. And I guess the visit of the Italian Deputy Prime Minister translates such a vision, which is shared by the Egyptian government.
Yes. How do you expect coordination here between both Cairo and Rome to impact the situation in Libya, one of the main topics discussed between the two sides on Sunday?
Well, I guess the two countries could work in the context of the United Nations efforts in order to bring the Libyan factions to negotiating table. Today, the Italian Deputy Prime Minister stressed the importance of holding elections in Libya as soon as possible. And I believe that both Egypt and Italy on the one hand and the international community on the other hand are working in that direction.
Yes. What fields witness here more cooperation, and we expect more cooperation in what domains in the coming period between both Cairo and Rome, Mr. Ambassador?
Well, I guess bilateral relations between Italy and Egypt do cover all sectors of cooperation among countries. So I believe the sky is the limit as far as bilateral cooperation is concerned. And one of the promising fields is, of course, the field of energy, particularly in the Eastern Mediterranean. Yes. Of course, the Italian oil giant Eni is doing very excellent work in that part. And lately, just 4 days or 5 days ago, the Ministry of Petroleum announced that Eni has discovered a promising gas find in the Eastern Mediterranean. So I guess the cooperation, bilateral cooperation, does cover many fields between Egypt and Italy.
Yes, and finally, sir, how do you weigh here the importance of the energy projects, as you have kindly mentioned, between the two sides, which were highlighted by the visiting Italian top diplomat?
Of course, after the outbreak of the war in Ukraine last year, the supplies of energy as well as energy prices have become very important, very crucial for the economic prosperity and even and social stability in many countries. And so cooperation between Italy and Egypt in this field is really essential. And I guess Egypt signed a memorandum of understanding last June with the European Commission in order to export gas, to provide Europe with gas supplies. Yes. So I guess that this is a very promising field. Indeed. And Egypt lately has exported to the tune has exported gas to the tune of $8 billion, and this is really we can call it a breakthrough. And still there are there are prospects of increasing the supply of gas from Egypt to Europe.
Indeed, Ambassador Hussein Hareedy, former Assistant Foreign Minister, thank you so much for your precious input and for being with us today. Indeed, a very important visit by the Italian Foreign Minister to Egypt earlier today. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi received the visiting Italian Foreign Minister and the Deputy Prime Minister, Antonio Tajani, and they discussed the developing bilateral cooperation, notably in the field of trade and investment and the joint industrial ventures and the energy security. Presidential spokesman Ambassador Bassem Radi said that President Sisi welcomed the Italian guest, hailing the distinguished close historical relations with Italy on both the official and public levels.
Egypt